And tonight it is official. President Joe Biden says he is running for a second term, and he made his announcement through a pre-taped message coming 4 years to the day when he announced his 2020 run for president. And it highlights his administration's accomplishments and policy moves while calling out his potential opponents.
But you know, around the country, MAGA extremists are lining up to take on those bedrock freedoms, cutting Social Security that you paid for your entire life while cutting taxes for the very wealthy, dictating what health care decisions women can make, banning books, and telling people who they can love.
So you were just taking a look at that pre-taped video. Vice President Kamala Harris is featured prominently in this video and will be back on the ticket. This comes as the president's approval rating sits at 41%. That's according to an NBC News poll out this week. And new at 5, the Fulton County District Attorney is putting law enforcement on notice that she could announce criminal indictments in her 2020 election probe as early as July. That's coming up quick. The big question is whether former President Donald Trump will be among those who are indicted. If so, he could have a criminal trial pending in Fulton County as he runs again for office in 2024. 11 Alive's Doug Richards has more on what this could look like for Trump supporters.
Would a pending criminal trial in Fulton County cripple Donald Trump's 2024 presidential run? Hardly, says one of Trump's biggest Georgia boosters.
Well, I've always felt there was unfinished business.
Dunwoody businessman Bruce Lavelle led Donald Trump's minority voter engagement effort in 2016. He's been to Trump's Florida resort. He's flown on Trump's private plane. Lavelle says Trump is the Republican frontrunner next year.
But the answer to your question is, yeah, he is by far the best.
Even if he has, say, criminal charges hanging over?
Well, you know, I think the American people are waking up.
If the Fulton County investigation is still going on while President Trump is running for re-election, what's that going to be like?
Well, it's just going to be like everything else. I mean, Doug, we went through 2 fake impeachments. We went through the fact that they were spying on his campaign, which was true.
So you're saying that if there's an ongoing criminal investigation in Fulton County and he's running for re-election, it's just going to be background noise?
That's all it's going to be. There's nothing, you know, and she knows it.
She is Fani Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney who convened a special grand jury to examine whether Trump broke the law with a phone call to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger asking him to find the votes to flip Joe Biden's 2020 electoral victory in Georgia to Trump.
There's nothing wrong with that type of phone call.
But you've seen the polling that shows that there's a sliver of Republicans that don't want anything to do with President Trump.
Well, they said that back then, so it's kind of like deja vu. I hate to say I'm used to this.
Lavelle notes that Trump faced and beat a strong field of Republican challengers in 2016. He says there's no reason to expect any different outcome in 2024. In downtown Atlanta, Doug Richards, 11 Alive News.
An 11 Alive's Verify team found that even if Donald Trump was charged with a crime, there is no constitutional roadblock to the former president running for re-election.